To the Legacy Crusaders YouTube channel. This is Benji, and I'm here with my roommate Steve, also known as John. Anyways, we made a bet, and John lost. So, John, what are you going to do tomorrow?
Tomorrow I am going to a regional tournament, and anytime I'm asked about trades, I have to present this joke binder to them as if I'm serious.
Okay, and you did intentionally build this binder as a joke, but not necessarily to do this tomorrow, right?
Yes. This was, supposed to be just like a goof, but now,
We're following through on it. So, yeah, he bet on, what was it, yesterday? It was on Houston to win by 2, and the Yankees to win?
No, just Houston to cover the 1.5 point spread, and on the second to last step out of the game, a home run ruined that, so...
You're like having some bad luck with baseball betting. So let's move on and take a look at some crap cards.
Okay, so we'll start with some of the monsters. A lot of these are either so common that no one would want them, or just very bad. Larvae Moth, obviously one of the least worth it monsters in the game, or very old cards like Boar Soldier that really just seem like they serve no purpose. And then Sonic Duck, I just like the card.
Yeah, I love Sonic Duck. I love duck sauce. Alright, let's keep going.
Absolutely. Moving on, a bunch of tokens as if someone would trade for them.
It's also the best thing in the binder, probably.
Yeah, it's the only thing that would serve an actual purpose, aside from a bunch of pendulum monsters of every level 1 to 9, just what I assume would be the least appealing ones that no one would ever trade for.
Yeah, Ignites are kind of dead now.
Now, some of the spells. My favorite spell of the binder, Cold Feet. You cannot activate, set, or use the effects of any spell or trap cards this turn. It's a quick effect. I can't think of any old or recent use for Cold Feet that you would just restrict your choices. Aside from that, Humble Sentry, Pot of Generosity, shuffle 1 card in your hand, shuffle 2 cards from your hand back to the deck.
So that's how you start on turn 1 with no cards in your hand?
Yes, very important theme of this binder is how to get rid of cards and how to
go neg.
Absolutely, because it'll all be worth it. Now,
oh, just to point out the card shuffler over there, since card shuffle is such a bad card, what does it say? You pay 300 life points to shuffle either player's deck?
Yes.
There's a video on the channel where I do a tag duel, and my partner just completely randomly is playing this card. I have no idea why, but I'll link it up above, right up here somewhere. There should be a button. Alright, keep going.
Alright, moving on to traps now. We have cards that are super old, like Two-Pronged Attack, and that's why they're bad. And also a card like Gamble, which says that if you have 2 or fewer cards and your opponent has 6 or more cards, flip a coin. If it comes up what you guessed, you draw until you have 5. If not, you skip your entire next turn. So, just about one of the worst drawbacks of a card you could have, as well as Skill Successor. It's just kind of a private joke between us because it was actually played in a regional topping deck.
Yeah, it got me a 5th place regional top in Infernoids, and I call it terrible anyway, but he tries to tell me it has value, so we put it in here as a troll. Although, you do have a present card in here, and present card's actually played in Trickstars now, so we might need to remove that from the binder. Because part of the bet is he actually has to try and trade a card in the book, and that one might be tradable.
That is true. That was put in here before I even heard of Trickstars. So now some of these outdated cards have uses, but hopefully some of them still don't, never will. Fine, discard 2 cards.
Oh, Chosen One, isn't that like neg 4?
Oh, right. This card here, Chosen One, without getting into too much detail, you play this card and reveal you have a monster and 2 non-monster cards, and your opponent randomly chooses one of the 3. If it is the monster, special summon it and discard the other 2 cards. If it's not the monster, you discard all of the cards. So there's a 1 in 3 chance that you go -3, and there's a 66% chance that you go -4. Just about the worst card for summoning that I really have ever come across.
Alright, let's see some more crap.
Moving on now, some of these are, in playable to non-playable condition. Right now, Baboon, it's a card that maybe gets some play, but, to go off, it has to be destroyed by Valor card effect, and I just assumed it had to be destroyed, so I sort of picked it apart.
Yeah, it's physically damaged, so now even if someone wanted this, they wouldn't trade for it. And if you notice down here, we got a set of Goyo Defenders, which you can't even play anymore because you only have one extra zone. So
well, I figured we had to combine the three into just one. So
yeah, we have to. If you play this, you have some space for the other two in the extra zone.
Yeah, they fit in the zone, but they're three separate. So, moving on.
We spent a lot of money on Sneak Peek for Maximum Crisis, and we have a shitload of Pendulum Switch promotional cards. Although, just to make you feel a little better about that expense, I have seen Elijah, a friend of mine, put together a pacifist deck that actually used Pendulum Switch. All right.
But if anyone is looking to acquire upwards of 18 of them,
Yeah, if only we had more. All right, let's move on.
And now we're moving past simply the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. You got some hockey cards, a playing card, which could be valuable in a different game to you. This card, I was actually running this on Friday, and had some duck sauce.
I love duck sauce.
Go along with the Sonic Duck. Some cards are better going together.
Some Magic the Gathering cards.
Yes, and these are also among the worst in Magic the Gathering, or at least I'm told.
That one's not in English.
You gotta pay a premium, but it's worth it when no one will trade for your cards.
All right.
And moving on, we now have one of the premier engines in the game, the Water Dragon. The materials, summoning spell, and then it's assumed that it comes in, goes away, comes in, goes away.
Yeah, I actually played against some guy online who actually played Water Dragon against me, but of course he didn't do it the right way. He did it with the Destiny Hero Diamond dude and used the Bonding H2O off the top. I saw Bonding H2O in his deck, I said, why is that in here? And he said, to summon Water Dragon, and I thought I was being trolled. Now there's Water Dragon support. So we got on the train early getting all this Water Dragon stuff.
Yeah, we have to cut this as soon as we can before more of the cards in this deck gain any kind of relevance. But for now, just a very totally not worth it, not a very good effect kind of boss monster, if you could call it that. And that's pretty much all we have for now. Although to be fair, these pages are just as useful as the ones with cards.
They might be more useful. They can hold decent cards if we were to put any in here.
Someone might want to trade for the physical binder itself.
Oh yeah, they might offer you a value that might cover the binder, or might come close at least.
And that should
like most people, we probably got something.
Trying to wrap things up and stumble upon.
We got some rare pendulum switches along with some ultras.
We might move these to some of the empty pages and just to end, in case someone's looking for upwards of, I would say, 35 pendulum switches.
Yeah, if you want to play a deck of 40 pendulum switches, we don't have quite that many, but we may one day, and we'll see you in our next video, which I'm sure you will find much more serious. See you next time.